Big wigs. Look at this. Got a lot of big wigs behind me here. East Oklahoma, I'll go ahead and just say it, is the best place in the entire world to view this eclipse. So we know that we're going to have an influx of people coming to the great state of Oklahoma, and you can see the group behind me. We've been preparing for months for the influx of people coming in. It's going to be a huge for tourism. It's for us to show off the Oklahoma standard, the Oklahoma hospitality. So we're really excited to showcase Oklahoma, especially Southeast Oklahoma. Follow the instructions of our law enforcement. We're going to have some National Guard there, and I've got people behind us who are going to give some.
Expectation is the main issue, public safety wise, is just going to be a traffic management incident. You know, if you've been to Broken Bow in that area, you know how limited access it is. So our expectations of monitoring any other types of potential threats, and we feel very confident that we're well prepared and have it staffed accordingly to be able to monitor. And again, public safety is our main concern.
Just like the commissioner said, we've been preparing for this for a long time. We've got a good incident management team in place. Broadcast put out press release, social media release, and it touched on some of the safety topics. And I just want to go back over those. You don't stop on the roadway. And when I say stop on the roadway, that also means the adjacent grass. There's going to be a lot of pedestrians in the area. Please be mindful and watch for people that are on foot crossing the roadway. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the Office of Emergency Management Director, Annie Vest.
Our agency has been involved with the eclipse planning, and the State Emergency Operations Center is prepared to assist with any last-minute requests that may come up in the final days as we're moving towards the actual eclipse date. Events like the eclipse allow for us a great opportunity to test emergency management systems. And now I would like to turn over to Major General Thomas Mancino.
I'm very sensitive to the fact that when the National Guard deploys and the citizens in Oklahoma, I wanted to just stand up here before you today and let you know that our approximately 30-man civil support team is going to be down in the area supporting the Oklahoma Highway Patrol and the local emergency managers with various tasks.
In southeastern Oklahoma in particular, we have a lot of rural 2-lane highways. Expect first responders to take a little longer. The last thing I'd leave you with is if everybody remembers what one of these is, it's a paper map. I'm a little bit old school. I carry one in every vehicle that I have. I'd encourage you to make a stop at a welcome center and pick up a paper map, stick it in your glove box just in case. With that, I'd like to bring up the Executive Director of the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, Joe E. Kelly.
We've been planning this for several years since I attended the last eclipse back in Nebraska a few years ago. We've been coordinating recently with the Department of Transportation, obviously, and the Highway Patrol. Since we have the main 4-lane divided highway that services southeast Oklahoma, we have a one construction zone on that turnpike that is down to 1 lane each direction. We're strengthening the traffic control, really providing additional notification 5 and even 10 miles back from that pinch point. We're staffed up with additional highway patrol in the area that work for the Turnpike Authority. We're staffed up with additional toll collectors down at Antlers and the McAllister plazas. Don't have a pike pass, I would suggest that you go and get one. Next up, I'd like to introduce the Secretary of Tourism, Shelley Zumwalt.
I'm going to talk a little bit about some safety things and things that you can do, and then kind of talk about the broader perspective of what this means for the state. If you don't have glasses already, I've got good news for you. We have them at travelok.com. Make sure you're experiencing that with some Eclipse glasses. The second thing is we also have merchandise. If you are as excited about this eclipse as I am, you can get one of these shirts at travelok.com. Want to get that in there. And I want to echo what Director Gatz said in that if you are dependent upon GPS to be successful in getting somewhere, you will have places where you won't have service. Take a map with you because you will need it. I can promise you that. And cell service is going to be overloaded in an area that is not used to the number of people. The population of Hochatown is about 250 people. Broken Bow is about 2,500. McCurtain County is right around 30,000 people, and we are expecting over 60,000 people in that area right around McCurtain County and the surrounding counties. And I'm going to toss it to Commissioner Keith Reed.
This can be unsettling to family pets. With that in mind, another area of focus has been on domesticated animals in the area and making sure they have their proper vaccinations, as already has been mentioned, is sun protection measures and eye safety during the eclipse. Make sure the glasses you're viewing the eclipse through are in line with the American Astronomical Society. It's been recommended you get them from our state parks and tourism. I'll now turn it over to the National Weather Service Science and Operations Officer, Todd Lindley.
I will say we may be between weather systems for partly sunny skies. There is currently a 20% probability of showers or thunderstorms in proximity to southeast Oklahoma. So with that, I'll turn it over to the Oklahoma Forestry Services Director, Mark Goetler.
First and foremost, we're supporting the Oklahoma Highway Patrol with their aircraft division, with their troopers, supporting wildfire across the state. They're using our Southeast area headquarters at Broken Bow for their incident management team, and utilizing our internet or radio systems or towers, just whatever we can do to support them. We have mapped over 4,400 cabins. After mapping all these structures, the effort has been going on for a number of years. So with that, I will.
Has there been an economic impact projection done by like a local chamber in Southeast Oklahoma by Department of Tourism?
That's actually the part of my talking points that I left out. So thank you so much for that question. Yeah, we're looking at about $7.4 million per day over the weekend, including Monday, to impact that area. So this is a tremendous thing for that area. You heard me say the population numbers and the number of people that we have descending on the area, and that's going to create just a really tremendous economic impact for that area.
Our incident management team will start moving that way tomorrow and then build up. The inflow of traffic is going to happen starting really tomorrow and then build up over the next 3 days.
We have mapped over 4,400 cabins.
The problem is going to be the exiting traffic all leaving at the same time. I'm guessing the minute after the eclipse is over. We're there through the duration, all the way through the weekend, really starting tomorrow through the weekend, and then all the way through Monday until everybody's exited.
When it comes to traffic control, how can you kind of talk a little bit about the plans regarding that? I know some states, I believe it's Arkansas, Texas, truckers potentially, they want to know, to try to not be on.
The thing I would add is the trucking industry. Of course, we can't just shut that down. We have reached out to the trucking industry as far as the oversized loads, and those will be suspended Sunday and Monday, just so we don't have a potential of one of those oversized loads or CMVs getting into a collision and blocking the road for hours on end. Everyone's aware of it in the trucking industry, and hopefully they'll use alternate routes if possible.
It's going to boil down to when you get into the region and you're dealing with some of the really rural 2-lane highways. Forestry and logging is very active in the region, and it's just hard to shut those operations down. So, we're going to see logging trucks that are going to be out there. That's something to be mindful of.
So we're looking really at around that 60,000, possibly 70,000 number is what our expectation is for the influx. The National Guard being deployed. So the National Guard is deploying at our request, DPS's request. Look, anytime you have this type of an event, the good news about this event is it's not isolated into one building. So the threat potential is looked at quite differently when it's spread out over 3 counties. Having the resources that the Guard provides to us, with the Highway Patrol and DPS, on all large-scale events where we have a lot of inflow. So, we monitor threats to the state of Oklahoma every day through our Octic or Fusion Center with all of our federal, state, municipal, and county law enforcement agencies. There are no active threats that would escalate this event. Our ultimate goal is preventing anything bad from happening, whether that be man made or a natural event. And our focus on this really is just a huge increase in traffic control. But we're deployed in a way that we'll be able to adequately respond to any type of incident that might occur if something does.
Expect first responders to take a little longer